world, everybody outside of the YouTube world. It is I, your conquistador Javier, and I am welcomed with my buddy here, D Hyde. What's going on, D Hyde?
Ooh, not a whole lot. Let's kick this episode of Oprah Boys Book Club off.
That's right. Tonight on the Conquistador channel, it is the continuation of Oprah Boys Book Club.
Oprah Boys.
That's right. And unfortunately, Chad and Comic Head 84 are busy doing their thing, but that's okay. We're still going to dive deep into this issue of Welcome Back, Frank, The Punisher, number 4 by Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, and Jimmy Palmiotti, published in 2000, continuing into 2001 by Marvel under the Marvel Knights imprint. Like I said, we will be talking about issue number 4 tonight. Catch the previous episodes of Oprah Boys Book Club.
Oprah Boys.
Catch the previous episodes where we talk about the previous issues, of course. Kicking it right off, man. D-Hyde, this cover. We have, of course, the continuation of the skull theme. I really like how the cover, the title is opaque. It's invisible, I guess. It's like see-through, and you can see the fish through the letters.
Yeah.
Translucent, yeah.
Yeah, and it's translucent block lettering, which is like weird. It's awesome.
It's weird, but it popped out. I like how it's like a almost like a zooming in effect of the piranha.
Yeah, and man, the detail Tim Bradstreet gets on. It's the photorealism of Frank is terrifying.
Yeah, I like this. He's in this like thinker pose. Welcome back, Frank. Issue number 4, The Punisher. That's what we'll be talking tonight. Oprah Boys Book Club. Just want to give a shout out to the Conquistador comic book chat. Excuse me. We have 90MF Comics. YouTube is 90. Of course, Steve Whiting coming in hot. YouTube is 89. Whoa. We have Comic Books NYC. What's going on, Kavi? He did an awesome haul video just previously. Great books that he got. We got Taylor in the house. What's going on, Taylor? Showing off the Rolling Told over here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We got Derek Hyde in the chat, holding it down.
2 places at once, baby.
That's his superpower, if you guys didn't know.
I can be on the stream and in the chat.
Talking a little bit about Oprah Boys Book Club for a little bit. Oprah Boys Book Club. Comic book club. It's just like Oprah's book club or any other book club. It is a place where the Conquistadorks will pick a series. This is the first of many picked by Mr. Derek Hyde himself. And like I said, just like a book club, we read the issues, we go through them, and then we talk about it because that's what we like to do, talk about comic books. And Oprah Boys Book Club, we pride ourselves in digging deep into these issues and touching on those major points. So we'll continue on over here. And this is how the issue starts off. A little bit about the last issue. We had a intense confrontation between Daredevil and Punisher, where Punisher was going to kill Ma Nucci's brother. And of course, throughout this whole Welcome Back, Frank series, the Punisher is going after the Nucci crime family, who is headed by Ma Nucci herself. Ma, as Chad likes to call her.
Just good old Ma.
Right. So on the other side, we have the police force, Mr. Detective Soap over here, who is in charge of taking down the Punisher.
It's a
bringing
knowingly,
justice.
yeah, it's a knowingly impossible task. He's been assigned it because he can't do a damn thing right. He's a klutz and a bad luck Larry, all
That's right.
around.
Just
And
all around bad luck, man.
so, and the cops don't really want to do anything about it. So, like, hey, let's put the most ineffective guy on the force on it.
And continue.
Oh yeah, and here we have it. He's here because his last partner, who was just a crime psychologist, killed himself because of a stern but not too bad talking to Soap had with him the last issue. And poor Bud Plug, that's right, Bud Plug was the character's name, just offed himself. And much because again, Soap just has no luck.
Yeah, that's right. We have here in the kind of like the police chief and the commissioner, I guess, like the two guys, the two head honchos of the police force, reading over Bud's note. And they're like, geez, what did you say to him?
Yeah.
But
and apparently the main thing, sorry, but the main thing that he brings up here is P.S. Tell Detective Soap he won't have to put up with any more psychobabble. And that's all he says about Soap in that entire thing.
Yeah, that was I think that was brought up in issue number 2, where Soap just kind of is talking down to Bud, and he's like, just don't worry about the psychobabble.
Yeah, don't worry about that stuff. And yeah, that apparently stuck in Bud's craw. And yeah.
So yes, just like Mr. D Hyde mentioned, Detective Soap over here, you know, not such a good luck guy. You know, look at his expressions over here, man. Steve Dillon just killing it. And I'll bring it up right now, man. The juxtaposition in this issue is on point. It's clear on, man. We have here just like Bud all sad, and then the commissioner and the chief just kind of laughing their ass off. And oh man, Steve Dillon just killing it, and just throwing in that shade of blue in the background.
Oh yeah, it really adds to the sadness of it. And I just noticed something for the first time in like my near decades of reading this book. At the very top panel.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
The little smile. No, right there. The little smiling pig.
Yeah.
Juxtaposing with Soap's really just sad stack expression and the little smiling pig back there. I've never noticed that before.
Oh yeah, just it's
funny.
Simple. I don't know if it was Garth Ennis or Steve. I don't know who it was. But
sure.
It's
like definitely a thing people have in their offices all the time, and it's so good.
Definitely a symbolism. Yeah. You know, it's subtle. It's in the background, but this is the first page of the book. This is the first panel that you see. So call it subtle if you want, but
well, it's just like because it's a happy. Well, like pigs being caught, yeah. But like I just never noticed that there's a little dumb like stuffed smiling pig in this.
That plush.
Office. Yeah, that's what I never noticed.
It's a social, that symbolism, that social commentary of
the police force kind of have like a cute little piggy thing in his office, like, oh hey,
it's ironic.
Like, yeah, that's something that's so stupid. I love this more.
Right back into that juxtaposition. Right into the next page, we have Frank Castle, the Punisher, doing his thing. And oh man, we have the introduction, the title to issue number 4, The Wild Kingdom. You know, Stanley presents that nice gradient between the red and the white. Of course, Garth Ennis on the story, Steve Dillon on the pencils, and Jimmy Palmiotti on the inks.
Jimmy Palms.
And this, great shot, full shot, like a full body shot of Frank just getting shot up.
Yeah, getting blasted. because
I like the text up here in the front. You can really hear the machine gun going off.
and that's the sound of my luck running out. Is
Right, which kind of
feeds into Sat Sack Soap.
yep. So we have Frank's take on everything, and then here we have the introduction and the first appearance of Ma Nucci. So if you guys are into this spec game, I know everyone's in the spec game a little bit. Issue number 4, welcome back, Frank. First appearance of Ma Nucci, and we also get another first appearance later on.
And I've also heard rumor that Ma Nucci is going to be the big bad guy for the next phase of Marvel movies.
I don't know if you're being serious or
No.
joking.
No, that's not happening. Sorry. Like the next Thanos.
It's just everybody going after Ma.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world. That's for sure. But we have Frank. Frank was scoping out Ma Nucci. He was going after her. He was scoping out her soldiers. That's what he calls them, her soldiers. Yeah. And apparently
they are soldiers in the mafia.
Yeah, she has an army of mafia members,
soldiers and forces. Yeah, all those words. The mafia is cool.
I really like it's almost like you get like a Central Park kind of feel. You definitely get a feel of the city.
Oh yeah, like it's crazy how good Dillon's able to capture that. Like
it's amazing, man. Yeah. It's so good, but definitely you can get if you. I mean, I know a lot of people have been there. If you haven't, go check out all those cities. But you definitely get a feel of how Punisher would be scoping out. He'd definitely be blending in, trying to use the crowds to his advantage. And this is as public gets, man. This is kind of like, this is real life. What Punisher is doing, going after the crime mobs and Ma Nucci, it's in the streets. It's in the streets of New York. It's happening real time, like people are getting involved. The public is getting involved. He tries to do his best to keep it secretive, but just a little cool thing to mention.
Yeah, but of course, and it's also closed. So
yeah. As he's scoping them out, one of the soldiers, if you will, finds Punisher. He sees him. He sees that he looks at him, and Punisher describes it as he's like, oh, he doesn't like what he looks.
Yeah.
He's gonna go far. He's a good guy, or he's a good boy, or something like that.
Yeah, no, and this little punk, this blue-eyed boy, probably on his first time guarding the witch, he turns and just like me, looks at me right like that. Looks me in the eye, doesn't like what he sees, and something tells him this is it. He's a bright kid, he could go far. I have a 45, he has a submachine gun. And then that's where Punisher sizing up everybody's weapons and what he has comes into play. And that's pretty much... That's Punisher's plight for this issue, is he is not very well armed.
We also got Joe 47771.
Yo,
what's up, Joe 47771? I like that. Yo, you get a free comic book. We had this segment where I wanted to do a GIF or a GIF, whatever you guys call it, of Oprah. Where she's handing out cars, but it's like I'll put Punisher's face over Oprah, and she'll be going around the audience, and she's like, "You get an AK-47. You get an AK-47." So if anybody knows how to do that, please let's make it happen.
Yeah,
Oprah Boys Book Club, and if I think Bake the Snake started it. I don't know who started it, but OBBC.
Yeah, OBBC.
Yeah. Continuing on over here. Let's not get sidetracked. Thanks for joining us, Joe, man. Appreciate the love. Here we have the boys, Ma's soldiers, going after Frank, and leading the pack is that blue-eyed youngster that Frank mentioned earlier. And like I said, they're going through the park. It's like, this is public. You have a family over here that they're kind of like dodging and weaving through.
Yeah.
And of course, they're following Frank's trail of blood.
Mm-hmm.
And where does Frank go?
Of course, the Central Park Zoo. That's closed. Where else would you go? Such a good place to go.
This line right here, of course, Garth Ennis just building up to the tension, where the guys are looking for him, and the guy who's leading the pack, he's like, oh, he's in there, all right, and yeah, I almost like heard him talking in like a squeaky, high pitched voice, like that gangster, like you. Like, I can't do it on stream right now, but that gangster voice, But he's in here, all right.
Him and the other animals. Let's take him.
Yeah, of course, calling Frank an animal, classic. Like he hasn't heard that before. And adding to the juxtaposition to this issue, it feels like I was talking to Derek earlier. It feels like a movie or TV show where something intense is happening, like a chase, and then it cuts off to another scene, and then like somebody's like whistling or like relaxing for like a little bit, and then it just cuts back real quick to the chase, and then there's like something intense going on, and then cuts back, and it's like kind of nice and chill again. So this was like what this issue feels like. This issue number 4 of Welcome Back, Frank, the Punisher. That's what we're talking about. Oprah Boys Book Club.
Oprah Boys.
So we have Frank going into the jungle, or Frank going into the zoo. Excuse me. But before he goes into the zoo, we get a little bit of this kind of like one pager of Soap going back to his office, and everybody's just laughing at him. The tie's still there. He mentions, oh, they couldn't even take down the tie. Like, the blinds that Garth Ennis decided to throw in there, kind of, this is all happening. This issue is all happening in one day.
And the blinds are even half open, as you could tell in the shadow. Like, it's just like half crooked. Like,
yeah, it adds to that like somberness for sure. Steve Dillon just killing it, man. Bud will be avenged. I think I don't know if that's the police force saying like the Punisher's gonna come and get you, or they're just being assholes.
They're being dickheads.
Yeah, they're just being assholes.
Yeah, Bud will be avenged. R.I.P. And they're like, killer. And then the next panel's them just cracking up as he walks into his office. Like, nah, everybody's a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, man. They
don't care about Bud. They find it funny.
What's another word for juxtaposition?
But
just
I'll consult the thesaurus. I should know it, but this is what thesaurus is.
You see here Steve Dillon or Bud, or sorry, Soap and the Force. It's just like crystal clear right there, man. And just in that one panel, just that symbolism, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah, because there's no real good ones for juxtaposition, apparently.
Yeah, and you can see here in this panel, Soap has like the notes that they taped on the door, and he's like crumbling them up. So he really put some detail into that.
Oh yeah, he's weirdly detail oriented in points, and other points he just leaves things super sparse and like he knows exactly when to make it detailed and insane, and other times just no background at all, almost just to really nail that home. It's awesome.
So, just wanted to shout out Life with Two YouTubers. What's going on, Life with Two YouTubers? Thanks for hanging out. Back into the action, we have Frank in the zoo, and they're going after him. And Derek, you want to take it away, going into this like thought monologue that Frank's going in through?
Yeah, it's pretty much as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Frank is going in just pretty much scoping everybody out, just trying to get see who has what guns and see who has anything, and because he's got nothing right now, he is unarmed in a zoo. So he's like, all right, how am I going to get a gun from these people? I'm going to have to use whatever is at my disposal, and he's at a zoo. So you could only imagine what he gets up to. He gets up to a lot.
Yes, he has to improvise. He has to get creative. And not only is he unarmed at a zoo, but he has also been shot twice.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's almost nothing for the Punisher. But, yeah, he's got them Kevlars on. He's just a bit hurt. He's just a bit hurt.
Hey, I got issues 2319 talking about how bad this storm's supposed to be. I know the chat's talking about the Hurricane Dorian. Shout out to Hurricane Dorian. Dorian scale for all my musicians out there. But for a second, I thought he was talking about Frank Castle and the Punisher, and talking about Frank Castle being the storm and how bad this issue is going to get. Yeah, but like in a good way.
Because Frank Castle is a storm.
Yeah,
he's a force of nature, human hurricane, if you will.
That's right. He's on a category. What? He's off the chains, man. He's
category off the chains.
That's right. I got issues. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you. Frank is the storm, though. We also got Burning Black about 99. What's going on, brother? Thanks for hanging out.
Thought you said Bernie Mac for a second, and I looked up really excited.
Yeah, you did. I saw that. Yeah. Frank getting shot by these punks, calling them out, taking them away from the public, somewhere where he kind of feels a little bit comfortable, still doesn't have a weapon, but he can get creative. He can improvise. Where is he going to go? This is the first Goomba, as he calls it, that walks through the door. And I believe it's the Blue Eyes.
Oh, it is.
I believe it's Mr. Blue Eyes.
Yeah, the one who made me, the blue-eyed boy, already thinking about his reward.
So we get this shot right here.
Most terrifying shot of Frank in the world.
Man, Steve Dillon just look at the skull on his chest and then look at the Punisher's face. Like,
yeah. Yeah. They're matching. Like, that's the Punisher just hurting, trying to kill, pissed, frustrated.
That mean mug, man, sends shivers down my spine for sure.
Well, shit, only if you're a criminal, Happy.
Hey, good thing I'm not, man. Good thing, Frank. Good thing I'm on Frank's good side.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. I'm not hurting anybody.
And also Steve Dillon's right here, the expression of the guy who he's looking up at Frank's face. This is what he's looking at, the panel before that.
Just Frank's coming down on him like a ton of potatoes.
Guerrilla warfare style, using the bushes, using the jungle, using the zoo to his advantage. Yeah. It feels like he's in the jungle. I'm gonna say that probably a lot of times.
Because especially in this, they're in like some jungle habitat thing that zoos put up together. So it's jungly looking in this one.
And what does Mr. Blue Eye say? He says, "Mommy."
Yeah, a very cartoony ass slapstick line for a character. Last word for a character to have.
Frank picks him up. He what's that word? He grovels him, I guess. No, not grovel. Grapples him.
Oh, but he grabs him by the throat and he squeezes his junk. I'm just gonna put it unelegantly for everybody. He throttles him by the throat, scoops him up by the junk, and
okay. So remember, guys, Frank has no weapons.
Yeah, he's got no weapons. He's trying to get himself some.
And this guy has probably like a automatic sort of 45 or something something that can tear Frank up, even
Yeah.
with his Kevlar.
Yeah, Frank. It was mentioned earlier, but yeah.
So Frank, that shot, that red background, you hear that, vroom, like that movie, like suspense shot, that hit, that orchestra hit, and then Frank just shoves him into, and then we get that cover. We talked about the cover for a little bit, so
Yeah, he shoves him right in that piranha pit, using using everything he's got to his advantage. But
always did like the zoo.
mm-hmm.
Frank's thoughts as he's shoving Mr. Blue Eyes into a vat of piranhas.
And the first panel on the next page is so hysterical, man. Like, just like another day at the office, like almost like whatever. And I wanted that HK of his, but these are the breaks. Like, oh well, like so
Yeah, I think he says it. I wanted that
yeah,
HK of his, like he wanted the gun that he was
right.
the gun that he was wielding, or the gun that he was holstering. But he says, like, oh well, like as
These are the breaks. That's those are his exact words.
And I don't know if this is naturally accurate, but
Yeah,
we'll just show that off for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Scroll back
exactly.
up.
I don't know how accurate that is, but it sure does look. It sure is effective.
Yeah, we get Steve Dillon drawing. This was okay. So, guys, this was published in 2000, going on to 2001.
Yeah.
This was published under Marvel Knights. So, during the time, Marvel Knights was kind of going a little bit more graphic, a little bit more dark, if you will. They were taking characters and they were kind of putting those characters and using them to the best of their ability, if you want to say. I mean, what Garth Ennis did on this was phenomenal. Marvel Knights allowed him to kind of just take the story to a certain place.
Oh yeah.
So he touched on this in the first issue, and if you guys pick up the single issues, there is in the back like the old school letters that you can send and mail out to Marvel. And in the first issue, there was a page, the last page of it, it was this, and it was a letter by Garth Ennis himself, and it was to the readers, and it was to the audience, if you will, and just anybody in general. And he was touching on the point on the Punisher. He was talking about the Punisher and kind of saying how justifying what the Punisher does is kind of, you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
The Punisher kills, and the Punisher kills crime because the Punisher kills crime. Crime killed his family.
Yeah.
He goes after crime. Yeah. It's just as simple as that.
It really is. It's the simplest equation. Crime kill family, he kill crime. And it's not good what he does. Like, it's not like even a necessary thing. Like, he says it is, he does it, but it's just interesting that he's a man who crime killed family, and now he killed crime, and he's unstoppable. He cannot be killed. He's killed millions of people, I think, by this point in the comics. And it's just insanity, and he's just flesh and blood man driven by the desire to kill crime.
Yeah,
that's it. And it's so dumb and simple that it's pretty great.
Yeah, life with two YouTubers, or to put it perfectly, struggle with Frank. Honestly, it's a schism of morality.
Yeah.
I believe there are things that you are not allowed to do and not allowed to do, but in comics, you are allowed to do whatever you want, and I believe that. And I also think that anybody's opinion matters. And there's been writers who have done what they've killed Frank. They've made him an angel of vengeance. They've made
Was
him
a
a
Frankenstein.
Frankencastle. They've made him a cosmic Ghost Rider, the Herald of Thanos, or the Herald of Galactus, Thanos's right hand man. It all just kind of plays on.
He was War Machine at one point.
Yeah, he was War Machine at one point.
He's flown around in machines. He's had jetpacks. He's had James Bond gizmos and doodads. He's gone through times where he doesn't kill people, and then he's gone time where he wears those cool, sleek-ass white boots and white gloves. He doesn't do that often. There's a period of time where he wore those cool-ass white boots and white, like, long elbow-length gloves, where he just looked like more of a crazy person.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely he's gone through some things. All of our favorite heroes have gone through some things. Oh man, I have a Punisher 2099 one shot by Robert Kirkman, the writer of Walking Dead, and that was a freaky issue. But yeah, man, just like what two YouTubers mentioned, I guess I'm just more of a Batman's point of view. We touched on that last episode where Daredevil was kind of pointing a gun at Punisher.
Yeah.
Daredevil, the knight, well, I don't know his tag. Daredevil, but the hero that we know and love, he was holding and pointing a gun at Punisher.
Yeah.
And the way that I see it, the heroes that choose not to, what Frank does and how he put it in issue number 3 with Daredevil, what Frank does kind of allows those heroes to be okay with what they do, because Frank does what he does. And Frank said, "Leave the killing to me." That's what Frank said. And it kind of...
if you want to dress up and fight with crazy dudes who dress up but ultimately aren't the real evil in the world, they're just dumb, unless they become a problem. But for the most time, they're just dumb assholes in suits robbing a bank. So it's like, yeah, if you guys want to fling powers at each other, fine. But you're not going to do what really needs to be done when it is, which is just killing all crime. Because that's what I do. I'm the Punisher. All crime's gone. And so you guys do that. I'll do this dirty work so you won't eventually have to. Which, again...
Right, they won't have to cross those lines. They won't even have to think about crossing those lines,
But they don't have to anyway. Again, Frank's insane.
Yeah.
But it makes for good storytelling.
For sure. We got some new members in the chat. We'll continue on this perfect segue into this Frank doing what he does best, as we showed this off. That's just that nonchalantness.
Yeah.
I believe that is a word of Frank's expression over here. Steve Dillon just killing the art. And the two...
Almost like a pelican, like a pelican dishwasher in the Flintstones, like, it's a living kind of face. Like, yeah, it's awesome.
And if you haven't read this story, anybody in the chat or anybody who's watching this on replay, welcome back, Frank the Punisher. It's actually a great story. So check it out. Deep dive. We're doing a deep dive. We're touching points that are kind of not on the surface. So we're doing a deep dive into these issues. Oprah Boys Book Club, OBBC. That's what we do.
Boys?
But continuing on into what Frank does. We got Stay Puff in the chat. What's going on, Stay Puff? And I believe we also had Glitter and Duct Tape. What's going on, Glitter and Duct Tape? Thanks for joining.
Yo.
And the immortal himself, Biggie Chack, just hopped into the chat. What's going on?
What's
the
going
Kirby
on?
King, the
General,
champ.
Immortal, Biggie Shack.
Here we so the two extra men, the two other henchmen are they saw what Frank did with the piranhas and to the blue-eyed kid, and this guy's just throwing his guts out, man, throwing up his guts.
Oh yeah, because he just saw piranhas eat a dude.
Love the text. The text really pops. The sound effects, yeah. Even the gunshots too.
Bakum.
So he's taking out one. He needs 3 more to go. And he decides to use glass this time to his advantage as he's in the zoo. He breaks his way through.
You're up, big guy. You're not sure who he's talking to yet.
And Frank leads him into the snake exhibit.
Yeah.
The snake exhibit.
Yeah, just a big old snake. And quick note, gangster shotgun is wrapped up in its tail up there.
Right. So
another weapon Frank could not get his grubby little mitts on.
And that's perfect, man. Steve Dillon, just amazing.
Yeah.
And we have that little bit of a throw up left over on the guy's face.
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Still speckled. Yeah.
Of course, the text of the squeeze by the python and the guy yelling.
No.
And Manucci coming back, just like calling out her boys, like, what are you idiots doing? Get him already, you know?
He's just screaming at the top of his lungs at a snake killing his friend. Because, as we're screaming about.
We mentioned earlier how this book feels like one of those crazy juxtapositioned.
Yeah, another change of pace, slowing it down.
Slowing it down. So we have Frank doing a little bit of his action and then slowing it down a bit. This time we get 2 pages of Detective Soap, and now he's meeting up with Lieutenant von Richthofen. And then she just casually says, "Call me Molly." What a name, von Richthofen.
Molly von Richthofen. Yeah. I don't know. It feels Garth Ennis loves dumb, weird names. So
I've noticed,
might be from something. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, it's an introduction of Molly, who's going to be who's trying to partner up with Soap because she's also like the department's biggest loser and embarrassment in a different way than Soap. For some reason or another, because she wouldn't sleep with a boss. So she got like kicked down and not paid attention to and assigned the Nucci crime family. So like the Nucci task force, essentially, which again is a thing that they don't want anybody doing and it's a nothing job. So now she and Soap are both doing nothing jobs with the 2 forces that are pitted against each other. So she's trying to get, a partnership going because they're not going to do anything by themselves. It's just not going to happen.
Right. It's just not going to happen. And we get her first appearance. So welcome back, Frank, issue number 4. First appearance of Lieutenant von Richthofen.
She'll be getting her own solo movie.
Actually, she's getting a Disney Plus TV show. It's her and Soap. It's Molly and Soap. That's what the show is called. Oh man. So we get these 2 quote unquote losers going after Frank. We get that really nice kind of like coloring in the background, kind of nice, smooth and relaxing, taking us away from the action and putting us in this like kind of like office environment, work environment. We have the coffee on the table and these 2 are just chatting up a storm. It kind of mostly looks like Molly is chatting up a storm and she's trying to convince Soap on how awesome she is and how she's going to turn this job around and how Derek said it, how they need each other. They need to work with each other.
Just
Von Richthofen and Soap, the most Titanic team up of all time. And that is just so ironic because Titanic it's so underhanded. It can mean 2 different things, like Titanic, like you're good, or Titanic, you're going to sink.
Yeah. And, of course, Ennis loves making fun of, like, dumb, any kind of cliche, comic book cliche. He'll always throw it in just because he finds it a silly thing for someone to say. The most Titanic team up of all time. Yeah, it's yeah. He likes layering stuff. That crafty Irishman.
Back into the action, taking us completely. We had those smooth colors previously, but then just back into the city, back into the park, back into the zoo. New York City. We have Manucci, this expression. Oh man,
Yeah, she's pissed.
really, really pissed. And we should have. I want to bring this back up here. Um, this is what she says. It's him. It's the Punisher. He killed my sons. He killed my brothers. I want him dead. That's all you need. That's She wants him dead. There's
Oh,
no.
I want his head.
Oh, I want his head. Sorry.
I want his
There's
head.
there's
Yeah.
no there's nothing more than that. It's just she wants him dead. There's no he That's it.
Yeah.
Crime kill family, he kill crime.
Wow.
So um there Manucci enters the zoo. So all this time she's been like an outside viewer. She enters the zoo.
And
She
she's been
pulls out
a little behind him the whole time.
Yeah, she pulls out the gun on Punisher, and
Oh no, she has her crony shoot and just misses. And she's like, "Oh, you can't do anything right."
that's what it is. Really bringing this kind of like commanding force to Manucci, and then just the way that her soldiers are messing up, it's kind of making Frank, like we said, this unstoppable force of nature. And over here, you can see him struggling, kind of like leaning against the brick right here. And then just when he needs to, he just bursts into full effect, falls into the pit.
Yeah.
Still holding his shoulder wound. This shadow is so good.
Yeah.
That inking Jimmy Palmiotti just covering up Frank's shoulder right there.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's man, I sometimes I'm just trail off. It's just because I'm looking at this thing. I love this book a stupid amount, guys, and I need to think about it because it just makes me so happy that I'm just gonna trail off and go like, ah, yeah, it's just good. So I apologize in advance. And
I need to read more Deadpool, Burning Black about. Let me know what Deadpool I need to read so I can. I just need to read more. I actually like only really read like Deadpool versus Gambit.
It's a strange one. It's a strange only one to have read.
And like, yeah, like a little bit of Deadpool Spider-Man. The X-Force stuff that he was in, but that's like not real Deadpool. I don't feel like.
Well, yeah. It's not break the fourth wall, goofy, throwing chimichanga and bullshit around.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Deadpool, man. Yeah, I think the writers that I don't think Garth Ennis is ever in Deadpool, but that'd be kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, Deadpool is that it's a whole Venn diagram of anti-heroes for sure. Sure. Sorry, just shouting at the chat, the Conquistador comic book chat for a little bit. Sorry, D-Hide. Kicking back off to this pit that Frank has fallen into.
Oh, it's all good. What? Oh no, I'm so pissed.
No. Kicking back into this pit. Frank, of course, has no weapons.
Yeah.
He's had nothing. Every weapon that the crook has been taken away in some form by the zoo. And now he sees these two polar bears. There's nothing here I can use as a weapon. ... And he just kind of stops dead in his tracks and stops dead in his thoughts.
Yeah. And oh my god, man. Yeah, these next few pages are some of my favorite things in comic book history. It's just so good.
Take it away, man.
Frank, yeah, right here, like, but Ma, like, the mobsters, I don't want to go in, and Frank's just staring face to face with a bear, and some of the best captions, like, in thought dialogue ever. Cuddling, lovable, docile. This won't do at all. Whack. And that poor face of that polar bear looks so confused and upset. That's not, it's like the perfect, most like, oh, no.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
he just touched the most adorable polar bear in the world.
it's so sad.
It's just like, oh, how? Why? And it's such good art by Dillon. It's incredible. Like just the look of shock on that bear's face. Like, oh, poor thing. But yeah, so he socks the bear in the face as hard as the Punisher can. And Ma is just bitching at this guy. She's walking on his back. Stop whining, imbecile. She's just always calling everybody idiots and imbeciles.
I love how she's climbing down and she's stepping on his back. I love
Yeah.
that, man.
Oh yeah, she's a ball buster.
She's not likable. She's not likable.
No, she's not. Well,
Life with two YouTubers. What did she say? She said that she just looks gross.
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't disagree there. I don't disagree there.
We got Hialeah Comic Bro in the chat. What's going on? Oprah Boys, OBBC.
Oh man.
And Frank just gunning down Manucci.
Not so you think he bounces off the mobster who's leaning down and gets the hell out of Dodge. He's not even gonna attack her. He just punched that bear and he's getting the fuck out. He bounces off of his back. What? And you know, Ma's like, well, he's right there. Go get him. And the guy obviously is kind of petrified because there's 3 full-grown polar bears just after him.
Dude, this guy's face right here is classic, man.
It's like a perfect confused, like his brain just is so scared that he just slips into like some infantile kind of behavior. It's bears. like it's almost like, oh.
Right, like he's stupefied, you know.
Yeah, just stupefied by it, by the fact that this is going to happen.
Yo, check out the art on those bears though, man.
I know. They don't look so adorable now.
Yeah, they definitely do not. Yeah, that's the Jimmy definitely doing some good line work on this.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical. Like they go through 3 different ranges of emotions on polar bears in this issue. Like that's awesome. That's
right. Okay, yeah, you're right. 3 different emotions of polar bears. You're right. This is like cute, adorable.
Like sleepy, huh? And then like poor, sad, stunned polar bear.
And then angry polar bear. Well, Steve Dillon, man, he definitely knows what he's doing. Definitely bringing emotion to animal characters.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Definitely.
The guy was a genius, man. Again, I'm gonna say it every episode. Rest in peace, Steve Dillon. Damn.
Hey, we got Mr. Boatwright just dropping in, saying hi. What's up, man? Glad. Thanks for stopping in. Glad you could stop by and say hi. We got Bake the Snake. Bake the Snake. I think he's the one that coined OBBC. I'm not sure. I think it was him.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, and we get the best panel.
As Mr. D Hyde mentioned, Frank wasn't going after Ma. He was getting the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Why was he getting the hell out of there? Because there's 3 raging polar bears.
Man, he just taunted and abused and riled up.
The Central Park Zoo.
Yeah, and then just a big uppercut. He uppercuts that head right off.
The bear does.
Yeah, the bear uppercuts that head right off.
And we get that redness, you know, that background, that wham.
Yeah. And then let's get Punisher's internal dialogue here. Let's just pause to savor the moment. Oh yes, one of the greats. Siren's coming, gotta go. Shame.
Punisher just looking so calm, so collective. another victory in one of his books. And he's just looking down, and what is he looking down upon? Nucci's terrified face.
Yeah. She's about to get polar beared. That's never a good way to go. That's that, you know. That was such a quick introduction for Nucci.
Look over here, man. I think so. In the previous issues 1-3, we really touched on Garth Ennis's writing, how he was building this story, building this plot. Yeah. Issue number 4, Steve Dillon's art has to take it for me, man. Steve Dillon did an amazing job on this art. Yeah, just every expression. We joked about it a little bit, but the polar bears, bringing Nucci into the forefront. Steve Dillon, man, definitely did a great job in this issue.
Oh no, for sure. Like he has better reaction panels and reaction shots and things like The Office on NBC. Like this is artful. Like it's beautiful. Like it's not beautiful because it's the dumbest, darkest kind of depraved stuff it could be, but he does an amazing job of conveying everything he needs to and make it effective, as we'll see coming
What's going on, SpongeBob SquarePants? Thanks for how's the internet connection in Bikini Bottom? Let me know, man. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
That's all good. It's forgiven. It's forgiven.
All right, so
I was thinking of something clever and funny to say too, but you know, it all just went. Nothing happened, but at least you got something out. So don't worry about it, buddy.
Thanks everybody in the Conquistadork comic book chat for hanging out. We got a couple more pages left to go for this episode of Oprah Boys Book Club. Welcome back, Frank. Issue number 4. If you guys haven't read this series, go check it out. Marvel Knights, Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, Jimmy Palmiotti. It's 12 issues. You can search for it. Sometimes searching like Welcome Back, Frank, it might not pop up, but search The Punisher 2000 and it'll definitely pop up. This is the 2000 series, Marvel Knights, The Punisher, Welcome Back, Frank. A couple more pages to go as we do this deep dive in Oprah Boys Book Club.
Oprah Boys Deep Dive! Right, that works.
Yeah, we have this badass cool look, man. He just looks so unfazed. He looks like such a badass in this, just like.
Oh yeah, that's his cops are coming, gotta go. What a shame face.
Right, like, oh, I wish I could stay around a little bit longer, but I don't want to get caught.
Oh, I gotta go now. I can't see this woman get mauled by bears.
Life with 2 YouTubers. Thank
Good
you.
Joke. Told you.
And then just Punisher, he's got to go, and Steve Dillon just uses that opportunity to switch kind of scenes, switch gears a little bit, and take us back into Father Redondo for a little bit. And I really like this issue number 4 little segment of Father Redondo where we finally get some sense to his character, of why Garth Ennis has written him in, and he's shouting out to the heavens, to the sky, why have you forgotten about me? I'm struggling, show me the way, blah blah blah, just kind of making himself like a little sap.
Yeah, like a martyr, like, oh, yeah. Why do you do this to me? Why do I have to kill for you? He doesn't. He's a psychopath.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Yeah. Great way to put it, because he's doing things that Punisher's doing to some extent, but this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Punisher is crazy, but this guy is crazy. Using religion to Yeah,
Yeah, killing people for religious reasons, and also using it as like a blanket for him to hide under and excuse him being a monster.
right. So he's out here doing his thing, kind of burying up a body, and then a newspaper kind of comes into his face, covers up his face from the wind, and he sees an article that kind of whoosh, gives him this sort of miracle as he was crying out. And he sees this article. Punisher does it again, another Nucci down. And he kind of flips through it, and he gets a little ecstatic, a little bit joyous, and you finally get a little bit of sense of why he's written into the story, what Garth Ennis is doing with him, and he starts seeing the Punisher as inspiration.
Yeah, as like a kindred spirit. I'm not alone anymore.
Yes, a kindred spirit for sure.
Yeah.
Somebody he can connect with, I guess. I really like these. It's like classic, or it reminds me of Preacher, of course.
Yeah.
But that look down, that look back up, top notch art.
Oh yeah.
Steve Dillon. And then we get the final page. So, Father Redondo, who is this man? Let's see. He gets he gets that kindred spiritness from the Punisher. And then the final page, we get Soap and Molly at the scene, at the crime scene of the crime. And they hear
that all the Nucci's are dead, that they're mowed down.
Right. And then they hear that Manucci is still alive.
Yeah.
So the three creeps are dead. And then just to continue on into issue number 5, Manucci has survived the bear attack. And Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, Jimmy Palmiotti, what they continue to do in this next issue, in these next couple of issues. Welcome back, Frank, the Punisher. It's amazing. It's
the first page of the next issue is so stupendous.
Yeah. Definitely a great read. If you guys haven't read it, The Punisher, welcome back, Frank.
Yeah.
We touched on issue number 4 tonight on this episode of Oprah Boys Book Club.
Oprah Boys?
And next issue, as we got in the last pages of this issue, we got the reveal that Manucci is still alive. The Punisher still has some work cut out for him. He still has to go after his main target. And issue number 5, we will be continuing to talk about this series. Welcome back, Frank. And we'll be closing it off, of course, with issue number 12. It's a 12-issue maxi series. If you're interested in picking it up, reading it through, and hanging out in the chat and talking about it with us, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll be here every Thursday. Conquistadorks channel will be on around 7, 8 o'clock, give or minus a couple minutes. But Derek, thank you so much for hanging out.
It's no problem. I can talk about this book in my sleep. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Stupid Manucci.
Manucci. I like that one word. Manucci.
Yeah.
That's all. Ma.
Thank you, everybody in the Conquistadork comic book chat. Derek, if you'd like to, plug anything, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff sporadically. I should be doing The World According to Frank Castle. I like the Punisher a lot. It's a crazy, dumb character, and the 90s were a really, really dumb time for him. So on that show, I examine random issues from the 90s and stuff and go through them, and they get bad. they get bad. They get dumb and bad. It's so funny. So yeah, if you want to see me go through those, follow my channel. Get the little subscription, little bell notification bell. Get that bell going, and yeah, I'll see you guys there. Probably. Let's see.
Dude, I should definitely let you borrow that Punisher 2099. Let you know,
Oh,
read through it. Let me know what you think about it, and then maybe we can do like a duo, the world according to Frank episode or something. Man, that'd be fun.
oh yeah, definitely. Oh no, I'm in. Yeah, I got a yeah. In that big thing, I got a bunch of Punisher 2099. So yeah, that's as dumb as it gets.
Hey man, comics, there's
Yeah.
a lot of comics out there in the world.
But these are just like they're good. Like the Punisher 2099s, I actually surprisingly like. They are so over the top, but it's just like a weird Judge Dredd thing. But yeah.
No, this one is different. It's a one shot by Robert Kirkman. It's completely different.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. It's a modern take on Punisher 2099. He's like a young teenager. I think there's like vampires involved. I don't know.
I got it. All right. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check that out, and we'll do a dual Frank. World According to Frank. I keep wanting to call it Welcome Back, Frank. That's not what it's called.
Well, we just talked about Welcome Back, Frank, on this episode of the Conquistadorks Oprah Boys Book Club.
Oprah Boys.
Thank you so much for always being my echo over there.
I gotta do it. Somebody's gotta do it, and
so
I'm holding up.
Every Thursday on the Conquistador channel, we talk about every Thursday on the Conquistador channel, we talk about a new issue of the Punisher series. Welcome Back, Frank. Next episode, we'll be talking about number 5. We just talked about issue number 4. So check us out every Thursday. The mightiest panel of them all. Usually we have Derek Hyde always accompanying me.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get Chad and Comic Head 84 in here with us next episode. Check out next Thursday, 8 o'clock, Conquistador channel, Oprah Boys Book Club. Welcome Back, Frank. Issue number 5, The Punisher. Silver Age Sundays. Don't forget about Silver Age Sundays, where we also have the mightiest panel of them all. We will have the special guest himself, the immortal Biggie Shaq, showing off some Silver Age comic books. And as I'm listing off these shows, hopefully Silver Age Sunday will be going on. Shout out to Hurricane Dorian. He's on his way, picking up some momentum over there on the ocean. Remember, everybody, to be safe, to stay safe, stay with your loved ones, do what you got to do. Don't be bored.
That's important.
Hopefully the internet doesn't go out. And just in general, gather your supplies, be as safe as you can be. Silver Age Sunday, hopefully, will still be going on. Conquistador channel, 1 o'clock. We might be doing it earlier that time. Otaku Fest is going on over the weekend, so we'll see. Every Wednesday, check out me or Derek Hyde and I. Check us out on the 90MF Comics channel. Chad is doing some great stuff on that channel where he talks about comic book reviews, comic book spec. We do the variant corner where we stash or trash the variants, if we're going to keep them or if we're going to throw them out. Check out the 90MF Comics channel for that every Wednesday. Thank you, everybody in the Conquistador comic book chat, for hanging out. Immortal Biggie Shaq, Life with 2 YouTubers, Bake the Snake, Glitter and Duct Tape. Taylor was here, 90MF Comics, Highly a Comic Bro. We also had Boatwright himself, some newcomers, SpongeBob SquarePants. Thanks for the love.
Himself.
Yeah, from Bikini Bottom.
Yeah.
Yo, we need Patrick up in here, please. Glitter and Duct Tape. Thanks for hanging out. And who are the newcomers? Burning Block About.
Bernie Mac.
right? And I Got Issues. You hang out with us before. We also had Stay Puff in here, man. Thanks for hanging out, Stay Puff. Conquistador Comic Book Chat. That's what it's all about. Oprah Boys Book Club. That's what it's all about.
Report.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe. Hurricane Dorian, shout out. Peace. Welcome back, Frank.